Hola a todos y bienvenidos. Hi everyone and welcome to our sixth Spanish lesson. I hope you all had a lovely half term and have had plenty of time to rest and recuperate, ready for a new term at school. I'm really looking forward to seeing you all in a couple of weeks, but until then we've got 2 more online Spanish lessons. So before half term we were learning the days of the week and we're going to continue with this theme, and this lesson we're going to be learning the 12 months of the year. Now, I know 12 sounds like a lot of new words to learn, but they're very similar, or the majority of them are very similar to the months of the year in English. So I know that you are going to be absolutely incredible, and you are going to have no problems picking them up. Okay, so before we start, I'd just like to remind you that at the end of the lesson, there will be a Google form, which is a quiz. 5 questions for you to complete. If you submit it and send it back to me, you will get a raffle ticket, and the raffle ticket will give you a chance to win a prize at the end of the term. Remember, we have the El Gordo, the big one, the lottery. Okay, so at the end of the term, you'll have a chance to win that if you send in your Google form, and also if you send in the MFL project, and also if you complete the purple task at the end of the lesson. Okay, so that's 3 chances a week to win a raffle ticket. Okay, and well done to the winners from last term. I hope you enjoy your chocolates. So lesson 6 then, we are focusing on los meses del año, the months of the year. Before we move on though, I'd like to show you a couple of really nice examples of work I had in from children last term. So the last lesson I asked you to send in your mnemonic, which is where you take the days of the week in Spanish, take the first letter, and you make up some kind of phrase to help you to remember the order. So you can see I've got a real nice couple of examples here that were sent in by some of the children in year 5 and 6. So well done to those children. So our LFPA for this lesson, we are learning the names of the months of the year. Our focus then is to pronounce them correctly. The purpose then, as before, is to be able to use this when writing the date in other lessons, so getting those cross-curricular links in. And the assessment, by the end of the lesson, you should be able to recognise and say the 12 months of the year in Spanish. So before we start that, to recap our last lesson, I'd like you to have a go at unscrambling these days of the week. So if you have a look at the column on the right, you'll see I've got the 7 days of the week, but all the letters have been jumbled up. What I'd like you to do is to pause the video now and work out the days of the week. So put them into the correct order from Monday through to Sunday, but also to unscramble the words, okay, because these are not in order. Okay, so if you pause the video now and work it out, and then we will move on. So hopefully you've had a really good go at that. The first day then is sábado, then martes, then domingo, then viernes, then jueves, then miércoles, and finally lunes. But to put them in the right order then, we need to go lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo. Okay, so hopefully you got those right. So we're going to move on to the next part of our lesson, which is where we are learning our new vocabulary. So I need you to mirad, escuchad, and repetir. So in order to do that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen with you now so that you can see my flashcards. Okay, so starting with the months of the year then, we're going to start with the obvious one, which is January. Now, as I said before, all the months of the year in Spanish are quite similar to English, with the exception of January. And to say January, we say enero. You try it, enero. Enero. And I remember it because it looks a bit like the word energy. Enero. And then febrero. February. Febrero. So if you look, very similar, starts with the same initial sound as well, which is always helpful when we're learning a new language. Febrero. March. Marzo. Marzo. Remember, the Z in Spain makes a th sound. So you might hear it marzo. Okay, you might hear it sounding with a S sound, but that's in Latin America. We're going to pronounce it marzo. Marzo. March. Abril. April. Abril. And if you look, the only thing that's changed for April is the P has changed to a B. Abril. Abril. May. Mayo. Mayo. So what we've done is we've added an O on the end. Mayo. Listen to the pronunciation. We don't say mayo, we say mayo. June. Junio. Remember the J makes a sound. Junio. Junio. So June, junio. And July, julio. Julio. So just like in English, June and July, in Spanish, they both start with the same initial sound. Junio, June. Julio, July. Agosto. August. Agosto. September. Septiembre. 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 You try it. Septiembre. October. Octubre. Octubre. November. Noviembre. Noviembre. Can you hear a bit of a pattern? Septiembre, Octubre, Noviembre. What might December be if it follows the same kind of sound? Diciembre. Diciembre. Okay, so we've gone through the months of the year. As I said, the only one that is completely different is enero, January. And it's easy to remember because it's the first month of the year. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you now. And we're going to move on to the next task. Now, I've got something to show you that we're going to include in every lesson from now on. Okay, so we've just done the mirad, escuchad, and repetir part of the lesson. So moving on, I'm going to show you my palabras perfectas, my perfect words. And at the start of every lesson, the words or the vocabulary that I would like you to use are going to be here on this page, my palabras perfectas, my perfect words. So you can see every month of the year is written down for you. Okay? So we have enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. So, just like the last lesson when we listened to two different songs about the days of the week, I'm going to show you now two different songs about the months of the year. And I want you to think about which one you prefer and why, which one you think would help you to learn the months of the year the best. Okay, so if you are watching this while we're doing the live lesson as well, we're going to be doing a poll on this to see which the majority prefer. Okay, because remember, this is just getting you as a learner to recognise what works best for you, because we all learn differently. So this is the first song, so listen carefully.
Meses del año. Enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre, enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre.
Okay, so that was the first version, and I'm going to play you part of this version because it's quite repetitive, so I'm only going to play you the first round of the song, okay?
Enero, febrero, marzo y abril. Mayo, entonces junio, julio y agosto. Enero, febrero, marzo y abril. Mayo, entonces junio, julio y agosto. Hay septiembre y después octubre y noviembre y diciembre. Hay septiembre y después octubre. No olvides de noviembre ni diciembre.
Okay, so I'm going to stop that one there. So I just want you to have a think about which one you preferred and why. Which one made it easier for you to learn the words. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next slide. But as usual, they all like to play again. There we go. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is memorizar durante 30 segundos. So memorize the 12 months of the year. I'm going to give you 30 seconds so you can pause this while you have a look. And then I'm going to take one away and you need to work out ¿qué mes falta? Which month is missing? Okay, so hopefully you've paused this and you've had time to memorize all of the months of the year. Let's see which one is missing. ¿Qué mes falta? So have a look. Remember, as always, these lessons go at your own pace. So if you need a bit more time, you can always pause it while you work out your answer. And when we're ready, we'll move on and find out which month is missing. Okay, so the month that's missing is Julio, July, Julio. Have a look again. ¿Qué mes falta? Remember, pause it if you need to. So which month was missing? Did you find it? It was Octubre, October. Let's try again. ¿Qué mes falta? So do you have a method for working it out? So if I were you, I would start with the first month of the year and I would work my way through all of the months until I got to the one that I couldn't find. And then I would know that that's the one that's missing. That's how I personally would approach this task. So let's see, which month is missing? Marzo, Marzo, March, Marzo. ¿Qué mes falta? Which month is missing now? And let's have a look at the answer. The month that's missing is enero, January, enero. ¿Qué mes falta? Which month is missing now? Agosto, August. Let's try again. ¿Qué mes falta? Which month is missing now? So remember, a good method would be to work your way through the months, starting with January until you find the one that is missing, or you can't find one, and then you'll know that's the one that's missing. So which month is missing? It was febrero. And the last one, ¿qué mes falta? Which month is missing? So remember, pause it if you need a bit of time. And let's go through the answer together. The month that's missing is diciembre. Diciembre. So now we're going to move on to the thinking part of the lesson, and I'd like you to answer the following questions. So remember, you can pause this while you work out your answers. So which month is after junio? Which is the only month not to end in an O or an E? So which is the only month of the year that doesn't end in the vowel O or the vowel E? In which month of the year do we celebrate Christmas? If it is febrero now, what will it be in 3 months? In which month do we start a new school year? And there are 4 months ending in the letter E. Can you name them? So, uno, which month is after junio? Junio. Which month is after June? It was julio. Número dos, number 2, which is the only month not to end in O or E? Did you get it right? It was abril, April. Número 3, number 3, in which month do we celebrate Christmas? So here we celebrate Christmas in diciembre, December. If it is febrero now, what will it be in 3 months? We've got febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, May. In which month do we start a new school year? Can you remember? We always start the new academic year in septiembre, septiembre. And número 6, there are 4 months ending in the letter E. Can you name them? So we have septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. Perfecto, well done. So I want you now to have a look at the dates that are written in English and the dates written in Spanish. So they're the same dates. I want you to tell me what's the same and what's different. So if you look at the column on the left, you've got Tuesday the 3rd of April, Friday the 9th of September, and Saturday the 21st of May. In the column on the right, you've got those same dates but written in Spanish. So what's the same and what is different? What do you notice? So pause this while you have a think. And we'll go through the answers now together. So what things are the same? So I noticed that the day of the week is at the start, just like in English. So that's the same. And the month of the year is last. And the date, that's the number, goes in the middle. So those are the things that I've noticed are the same. What's different? I've noticed that in Spanish, they don't capitalise the days of the week or the months of the year. So we always use a capital letter for days of the week and months of the year because they're proper nouns. In Spanish, we don't do that. We just have them as lowercase letters. And also in Spanish, we don't use like first, second, third. We don't use ordinal numbers. Okay, we don't have like first, second, third, fourth, fifth. We just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Tuesday the 3rd of April is martes 3 de abril. So we don't need to put first, second, third. It's just the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. So those are the things that I've noticed that are different. Did you get them too? Muy bien, perfecto. Okay, let's move on then. So another new thing I'm going to introduce in our lessons is something called a frase fantastica. My frase fantastica. And that is my fantastic sentence. So it's helping us to apply what we've learned into a sentence. So if you look in the blue box underneath flow, aplicando, it says hoy es, and that means today is. So your job is to work out what is the date today. So remember, we need the day and the date and the month. So it's day, number, day, and then the month. So if we go back to the previous slide, we notice it says the day of the week, then the number, and then we have day, the preposition day, de, and then the month. So moving forwards, hoy es, I need today's day, the date, so the number, day of the month, day, and then the month itself. So pause it while you have a go. And when you're ready, we will have a look at what today's date is. So hopefully your work should look something like this. Hoy es miércoles, Wednesday, 24th, 24, but we haven't got that far with numbers yet, so I don't expect you to know that, so don't worry. De, the preposition de, of febrero, February. Perfecto. So what I want to know now is, ¿cuándo es tu cumpleaños? I'm asking you a question. ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? What do you think I'm asking you? It's got to be something to do with dates. So what could I be asking you about a date? ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? So if you have a look at the picture, it might give you a bit of a clue. I'm asking you, when is your birthday? So have a look, and I'm telling you when my birthday is. So it says, mi cumpleaños es el 8 de julio. When's my birthday? Mi cumpleaños es el 8 de julio. So my birthday is the 8th of July. What I'd like you to do is write down when your birthday is. So, ¿cuándo es tu cumpleaños? So, we would say, mi cumpleaños es el, and then you give me the date, the preposition de, and then the month. So, por ejemplo, for example, if your birthday is the 5th of January, you'd say, mi cumpleaños es el 5 de enero. Okay, so have a go at writing down when your birthday is. And finally then, the last part of the lesson, this is your independent task. Can you complete the crossword? You'll find this task on Google Classroom. So I've sent this out to your teachers and asked them to share this document with you. Okay, so you can write on it and then return it to either me or your teacher. And my email address is at the bottom there, so you can email me directly. Okay, so you've got a crossword, you've got clues, and each one of the words going across or down is a month of the year written in Spanish. Okay, and if you look at the clues, it will tell you a clue about which month it is. So, for example, one across says Whitsun half term. So, in which month do we usually break up from school for Whitsun? And I'll give you a clue because I have written it on the sheet as well, so you'll see it anyway. We usually break up for Whitsun in Mayo. So, number one, the very top one, you've got 4 letters going across. You need to write Mayo. Okay, and from there, then you should be able to work out the rest of my crossword. Remember, send it in to me to win a raffle ticket. Okay, so at the end of the lesson, remember, I'm going to stop sharing my screen with you now. So at the end of the lesson, remember, have a look and complete the Google form for me, send it in, and you'll also get another raffle ticket, and we'll be drawing our raffle at the end of Mayo, at the end of May. Okay, so muchas gracias. Thank you for watching. If you need any help with anything, remember I'm always about. You can always ask your teacher to contact me, or if you've got any questions, just let me know and I'll be happy to help. Okay, but good luck with your task, and I will see you next week for our final recorded Spanish lesson, and then I will see you in school the week afterwards. Hasta luego.